Okay, looked like that worked.
All right, you're live to go. Give me a phone call if you need any help, okay?
Oh, well,
Thank you. Just make sure you have a quorum. Thank you.
thanks. Hey, Carrie, thanks for coming. Hopefully we'll get a couple more people.
Yeah, there's not too many of us, is there?
No, it's just you, me, and Tim right now.
Woohoo!
It'll be a very short meeting if it ends up just being the three of us.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm having a hard time articulating. I read through the whole report regarding malfunction junction up here.
Oh, okay. I'm sure you heard Adam say, but just so you know, we are technically live now too on YouTube.
Okay.
I just want to make sure because I know he said it, but I wasn't sure you and Tim had heard it.
Yeah, I heard it. I'm not sure how to articulate some of the findings and the things that I did to test their potential theory on it.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can talk about it a little bit. Hopefully, like I said, if other people show up, we'll put that towards the bottom of the agenda and we can run over it a little bit. And then, I mean, if you took a lot of notes on that, maybe the next time we have an in-person meeting, we can take a look at it too. I mean, I know they're not going to do anything over the winter, so we don't have to worry. I don't think we have to worry about that. So we'll definitely have a chance. Oh, there is, looks like Ken and Cheryl. All right, welcome, Ken and Cheryl. Just to let you know, we are already live. The meeting they had to start that first because there's a couple meetings going on, but we don't quite have a quorum yet, so we can't technically start the meeting.
Okay, I had a difficult time getting in, Jay.
Oh, sorry about that, Cheryl. I let you in as soon as I saw you, but I'm not.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, I'm not as good at this as the tech people are.
Direct.
Right, so that gives us Cheryl and Ken.
Jay, did we already call the meeting order?
No, not yet. We don't have a quorum. So we're waiting on a couple more people. I'm going to give it at least 5 more minutes to see if we get enough people for a quorum.
I just want to get my minutes.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay. Yeah, but if we don't meet a quorum, I guess the only thing we can really do is have an informal that's not technically a meeting, so we can talk about a couple things, housekeeping stuff for the committee. But other than that, we can't really do anything without a quorum.
Okay, right.
So I'm going to actually try and make a couple phone calls here, so I'll be on mute for a minute or two, but I'll be right back.
Did you hear from Annette?
No, I didn't.
She's been ill, but
Okay.
she had the sweet potatoes for the pie.
Well, that's the important part.
She said so in January if we meet in person, she'll try to make them.
Sounds like a plan. All right. Well, give me a minute. Let me make a couple phone calls and see if we can get
Okay.
some. Oh, there's John. Just let him know that it's live. Hey, John, welcome in. If you can hear me right now, we're already live, although the meeting hasn't technically started yet.
Hello.
Hey, John. So we're live on YouTube, but the meeting hasn't started because we don't have a quorum. So as soon as we get one, we'll get started.
Well, aren't I big enough for a quorum?
You know, John, if they did it by size between the two of us, I think we'd have it. But technically, they do it by number of people.
We got 2 starting tackles here, don't we?
Oh, at least the nose tackle and a guy on the end too. I mean, I think we're good. But give me a couple minutes. I'm going to make a couple phone calls to a couple people, see if they're planning on being here.
No problem. I haven't seen myself yet. Lynn, can you fix me a little drink?
Yeah.
In that,
In the cup?
yeah, in a cup, if you don't mind. Yeah, just well, I have a cup over by my thing here, but just give me a plastic cup there or something.
All right. Well, we've got at least one more person on the way, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By my count, will be enough.
Well, I see JW, but I'm not hearing anything.
Microphone?
Okay, so we do have enough people, it looks like now. We are live already, but we just hit quorum so we can start the meeting. Cheryl will do the call to order at 6:18 if that works for you.
That's good for me.
All right.
And I have on the line so I can get the members right.
Sure.
Jay, I got John Curry, Tim Whitty, Carrie Parson, Corporal Terry, and myself. Was one other? Oh, Jay. Is
Jim
Tim
Walker.
Okay.
Yes, he's here too.
Okay. How you doing, Dad?
Did you unmute it?
Great.
All right, so I've shared my screen, so hopefully you guys should all be able to see the agenda. And I sent it around on that email as well. So the previous meetings minutes, I only got one change over email, so I made that. It was just a typo on Judge Ishak's name, so we spelled that right. So that was the only change I had. So if someone would like to move that we approve the previous meeting's minutes.
Move.
Okay, Carrie. Carrie makes the motion. Jim, looked like you were second. You want to do the second?
Yep.
Okay, seconded. Anyone opposed? If not, we'll call it unanimous. All right, hearing no objections, we'll call that a unanimous approval of the minutes. Membership updates. As far as I know, both John and Chad were re-upped by their individual organizations. And we have a new member now, a new returning member. So Kevin Racine has rejoined as the last citizen spot. He wasn't able to make it to tonight's meeting, but hopefully we'll see him in January. Let's see. Route 40 ad hoc in Blenheim. I don't have anything for that. I don't think they've met recently. Tim, any new road grants?
No, not at this time, no.
Okay. Traffic pattern around the old 7-Eleven. So that we had sent out last month something for you guys to look over. I think the best way to deal with that, as opposed to trying to talk about it too much here, is if you've gotten a chance to take some notes on it, maybe what we can do is share it around through email first, and then put together kind of like a proposal. And kind of get all the ideas together that way. I think that's going to be the easiest way. And when we start meeting again in person, it'll be a little easier to take notes and that kind of stuff on those things. But please make sure to, read over that. I know it was fairly extensive, but take a look at it, make some notes, and then if you can send them to me, and then what I can do is compile them and then send them around, and that way everyone gets a chance to see what everyone else was thinking. I think that's probably going to be the best way to handle that, as opposed to just a lot. Otherwise, I think we could spend the whole meeting on that, if not multiple meetings. The safe routes to the new school. I know there has been a little bit of work done on that. I know Casey is working with State Highways a little bit, and I'm sure Tim is working with them too, as far as getting all of the different pedestrian activated crossings updated. And then I know the next plan is with the getting that sidewalk from Fence by Fenner to the rest of that, getting to the school, to get that part together. I don't think there are any other updates on that, unless Tim has anything.
No, not at this time. No, we're Patrick and I are working on the sidewalk issue.
Okay, perfect. Parking lot by Tidewater and the Legion. I know that is on hold until the project with the wastewater treatment plant gets done. So as soon as that gets done, they'll update all the lining there.
Yes.
We kind of just went over the pedestrian activated crossing. So there's that part. Let's see, the Lewis at Route 40 pedestrian cross time. So I know they did, the State Highways did a little bit of work in that area, but I don't think they are going to do, I think they updated all the crosswalks as far as restriping, but I don't think they're going to update the times. I think when they looked at it, the times were within the margins that they were expecting them to be. Really, it seemed like more, as long as pedestrians are given the right of way like they should be, it should be fine. Letter I, the purple street lights. So we actually got a little bit of movement on that. Ken was very helpful. He was able to find a way to get like an interactive map. And Ken, if you can talk about that a little bit more, I thought it was really cool what you did there.
Yeah, sure. Basically, it's just already been done by the Baltimore County, and I just copied their link and put it up for people to report to lights. You click on the link, and if you go back on our Facebook page, it's still there. I can have it moved up again if you want to the top of the page. And you can report to light. You can zoom in on the actual light all the way down to which light particular is the problem. You click on it and just type in the purple lights, and they're supposed to come around and fix those. It looks like, they ordered some kind of defect from, I don't know, I don't want to say a country, but somewhere. And they're having a lot of issues with them. So I don't know what the turnaround time is for replacing them, but reporting them is easy now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The map that Ken put up, and like you said, he'll re-up it again on the Facebook page, so you can go there and take a look at it. But it's a really cool little interactive map. It lets you zoom in all the way to the individual street light, and then you can just report it from there. So I assume it works not only for the purple ones, but if you find one that's out, you can do it the same exact way.
That's correct. You can report any kind of lighting issues with that.
So it's really cool. If you get a chance to check it out, even if you're not don't have any lights to report, just take a look at it. It is a really cool little map. In-person meetings. So the city has been back to them for a while now. They're actually having an in-person meeting right now, I believe, which is why Casey wasn't able to make it. They had an emergency city council meeting tonight. However, I will between now and before January's meeting, hopefully before the 1st, I'll shoot out an email to everyone, and we'll gauge what the reaction is as far as in-person meetings again, and whether we want to start those back up. I believe some of the other committees have already started back up, but I'll gauge everyone's opinion on that and see if it's shifted and see if we want to go back to in-person. Last thing that I have written on the agenda was the bus stops in town at Congress and Pennington. I don't have any more updates on that. Tim, did you find out any new information from last month to this month by any chance? And it's okay.
No, I did not. It was really the decision was made by Harper County, and I haven't had a chance to get in touch with them to let them know about anything. Or
Okay.
if they wanted to switch.
Jay,
it.
Cassie sent me something right after the meeting. I can send it to you about whatever.
I knew she had worked on it a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I knew Casey had worked on it some. I just wasn't sure, and it worked out that she wasn't here, so she wasn't able to give a report on that. I just wasn't sure if Tim was in the loop with what had happened too, because I knew I wasn't.
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, no worries. I'll leave that on the agenda for next month, and I'm sure we can have that worked out. You okay, John?
JW,
Yes, sir.
on that bus stop, can you just explain that a little bit better? Because Congress and Pennington parallel, you just getting one extra bus stop?
So what it was, and Cheryl had brought this up last meeting, and if I'm wrong, Cheryl, you let me know. But she had run into to some ladies who were talking about how there used to be a bus stop. I guess one was one way on Congress and the other was the other way on Pennington. And those are the ones that they used to use near St. John's Towers, I believe. They were the ones that they could use to get on and off the bus. But I guess the stops had moved, so they had to walk a lot further to be able to get to the buses that they were on. And they were just trying to figure out what had changed and why those bus stops had moved. Does that sound right, Cheryl?
Yep, that's right. They said what happens is they have to catch the bus now at the old post office, and that when they come back with their packages and stuff, it's hard for them to carry them to St. John's Town.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem, John. Okay, well, that's the last thing that we have written as far as the written agenda. Does anyone have any comments that they've heard from citizens over the past month?
Nothing here.
Okay, anything from anything you guys have noticed? Any issues? Anything new?
Just the same old that we hear out on Facebook and walking through town.
Okay. Well, and I'm hoping that when Kevin gets here he'll be able to give us a little bit more of the pedestrian updates a bit too, because I know he does a lot of pedestrian stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to get back to fixing the sidewalks and where the cobblestones and those areas where those are missing, so we get a better report on that. And Kara, if you have any of that, certainly feel free to voice it so that way Tim can send people out to fix those areas.
Yeah, I usually just go right out to the BGE and report the poll number as soon as I find them. But the big thing that people, if you're out on the Facebook world, this is Havre de Grace and the rest of it, is they're still going on about how we really need we really need traffic control. on all of the main roads.
So by traffic control, you just mean like the speeding?
Yeah.
Okay.
And noise. I mean, people were complaining about the mufflers and the exhaust systems, and it was after the with the Halloween time frame, especially the one that sounds, that's constantly backfiring as soon as he takes his foot off the gas.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've talked with Ken a little bit about that, and it doesn't seem to be necessarily something that we have the ability to do much about without those decibel meters, which I think.
No, not a decibel meter, because Ocean City has already taken care of the problem. They're actually just writing repair and reports because you have to remove the catalytic converter to put the adapter on.
Okay. Ken, do you know anything about that? I'll be honest, I don't know too much about cars and that kind of stuff.
JW, I would suggest we get a hold of Ocean City and see what they did. We may be able to find out if they did it by ordinance or how they worked that.
Okay.
I mean, that's what the Maryland Municipal League can help us out with a problem like that. Because let me chime in, Carrie, and I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I have heard some of the same complaints about these mufflers, primarily like starting their cars up early in the morning, disturbing people like 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning with those kind of mufflers. So we may be able to find out what they did, and then work with Corporal Terry here and see what maybe we could do for Harvard Grace.
Yeah, it would be nice. I mean, I know that they had the state police involved, and they were just writing a lot of to go and get the vehicle actually Maryland re-inspected,
Right.
to ensure that they had an active and compliant exhaust system.
Right.
And I know that that's what they were doing for the unsanctioned, because they had a very large write-up in the newspaper.
Yeah, they addressed that down there with those H2O event, I believe it was. That was their way of not inviting them back down there, is to put out a bunch of repair orders. So individually, you can target cars that are problems with that if it's a problem that a repair order can fix. But we issue a repair order, they have to take it to a state inspection station to sign off on something like that for a muffler. We can't sign off as a law enforcement. So if they have a buddy that works at a shop, sometimes it's a lost cause. We issue those things out, and sometimes they come back. And there is nothing for motorcycles. There's no repair order for a motorcycle exhaust like that. So, it's not really, like I said, it's a unfortunate thing that people have to deal with. Like, I live in Bel Air, and they fly by my house all the time, same kind of thing. It's just, I don't know, it's something statewide. They have to address something like that.
Well, then maybe we just potentially start talking about an ordinance. I mean, because quite honestly, they are disruptive.
Right.
To the point where you cannot hear an emergency vehicle with lights and sirens when one of them is in front of them.
Really? That's a concern then.
And at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you got somebody backfiring. And we've got enough veterans in the area, and I bet you those individuals are actually eating concrete.
And there's also like the antique cars that, like the muscle cars from back in the day that fall under an antique historic tags. Those are different. That repair orders don't work with them. So, there's. I'm not trying to make excuses for them, but it's just an uphill battle with these things.
Well, we can do some research like I suggested, maybe just see what others have done, and maybe we can come up to some conclusions. Work with our city council, as well as the delegation is now meeting your state level representatives are now meeting for the next session for topics. So that may be one that we could suggest to them to take a look at.
Well, I did get a suggestion from a citizen, and that was they're asking if the city council would be starting to be willing to actually start bringing in speed cameras in the known areas that we have problems.
Respectfully, you don't want my opinion on speed cameras. Excuse me.
They are a wonderful deterrent.
Yeah, I've not been much for him either, John. I tend to share your, and I think what will end up happening is we'll probably end up with the same thing when they used to sit at the stop signs in Grace Harbor and Bayview, where the only people they ever wrote tickets for running those stop signs were the people that lived there.
Yeah,
I'd love it if it was different, but I don't know how much of a deterrent it'll end up being. It'll probably just end up somehow costing us money, and I don't think and correct me if I'm wrong, Ken, we don't actually get any of the money from that, right? All that money would just go somewhere else. It wouldn't go to Havity Grace at all, right?
I believe like speed cameras are different. That's not a state citation. That's the state
Oh, okay.
citations go to the state, and we get a very small percentage of that once a year, I believe. But any speed camera system, like I know that we had already looked in a couple of different ones there's even handheld ones that we looked at, that where you could stand somewhere and target an area. It had to be so many feet from a school zone. They were all school zone. Most of the speed cameras are school zone oriented. So, but there's
Right.
a lot of schools. There's 4 schools there. Used to be 4. Well, now there's combined schools, but there's schools like in the areas that people are complaining. So that's just something I guess that would have to be voted on and approved. And those devices could be purchased, and they're pretty self-sufficient. They take care of everything. As far as I know, they even send somebody to go to court when somebody wants to fight them from the company that monitors those things. So that's above my decision-making process.
Oh,
but,
no. That I understand.
That technologies are out there. So,
But and if you don't know this, that's fine too. The initial outset on cost would be on the city too.
that I don't know. I know that
Okay.
they did look at different companies and stuff, and I wasn't in all those meetings. I did, pick up a device or two and look at it, but I wasn't in the meetings per se. So I think some of the legwork's already been done for that. It just needs to be, I guess, voted upon or approved or something like that. So.
Okay, and we're talking like those school zone cameras.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, well, we can certainly find out from Casey if she's in the loop on that, because I'm sure if the council talked about it at all, she would know about it.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you for that information. I appreciate it. Does anyone else have, or I care if you have anything else too, feel free, but does anyone else have anything that they've heard over the last month or so?
No.
I'm clear.
No, that's really it. About the only other thing is I told individuals that they need to start voicing their concerns and their opinions directly on over to City Hall, so that way we're not having to just troll or go out and or if they see us, that it's not coming from just the same individuals over and over, and you think we're complaining over it, that maybe the city can start hearing it directly from their own citizens.
No, that's great too. That's a great way to talk to people when they're raising concerns to you. Just make sure that they also, they're always allowed to come to the committee meeting, like not the committee meetings necessarily, but the council meetings. So when they have open council meetings, they can always come to those to voice concerns as well. And if they don't want to do that, they can always just go to City Hall and fill something out to do that. And it always helps. And you can certainly email certain people in the city to voice concerns. So that way it looks like it's coming from more than one spot. You're right. That's a great idea. All right. Well, with that, I think that's it as far as agenda topics go. Our next meeting is January 24th. As far as I know, we're not going to make a decision tonight, but I will, like I said, I'll email everyone and we'll have a decision hopefully before the end of the year as to whether that meeting will be in person or still on Zoom. Okay.
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 All right. Well, everyone have a great rest of your evening. Thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it.
Happy
And,
Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving and Merry
Happy
Christmas since we won't see you
Yes,
before
right.
then.
And eat all you want, just in small portions.
Where's the pie?
It's gonna be January, so if we have an in-person January meeting, you're not there, there's the pie.
Okay.
Yeah, Annette wasn't willing to go around to everyone's house today to drop off pie, and you
Well, I
know.
would have came to her.
Well, thanks again, guys, and we are going to close the meeting out here at 6:40.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Great meeting.
everybody.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Be safe if you're traveling.
Amen. Amen.
Happy Thanksgiving.
See ya.